Every single review just gives you a bunch of different features and you are still absolutely confused which is the best choice for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you just the very specific features that you actually need to pay attention to understand which is the best choice for you based on your specific case. And on top of that, I have some discounts and crazy bonuses if you use my affiliate links, so check out all of the links in the description.
When it comes to Brevo automations, they have most of the basic stuff that you will need, and one thing I do like is that they also have some pre-built automations. Nothing crazy, just some of these basic things, but pretty much you will find everything you need, like the multi-trigger workflows, emails open, page visited, if-else branching. It combines basically marketing, transactional emails, so it's nothing crazy advanced, but it has all of the basic stuff you will need. It's an 8 out of 10.
By the way, I have created a document of 50 best growth hacks used by the biggest marketers out there. Check the link below.
When it comes to ease of use and interface, it's pretty clean, well organized, clear navigation between email, SMS, and CRM features if this is what you're going to be using, and I'll discuss this later as well. I would say it's slightly more technical than MailerLite or even ConvertKit, Kit, so I'll give it an 8 out of 10, but it's still beginner friendly.
By the way, I created a blueprint for the best business model out there, so check the description.
For landing pages, they have drag and drop builder. They have all the custom sections, countdowns, product embeds. There's A/B testing included in higher tier plans. I will say it's an okay drag and drop designer. I'm not crazy about it, and the templates are sort of okay as well, so it's somewhere between 7 and 8 out of 10. When it comes to forms, they have all the embeds, pop-ups, triggering automations. It's easy to set up. Design-wise, customization is not super advanced, especially that if we compare it to dedicated form tools, but it's still pretty decent for email marketing software. It's an 8 out of 10. For newsletter designer, it's pretty smooth drag and drop builder. Nothing too crazy. I would say I like some of the other drag and drop builders a little bit more. It does support some personalization, conditional visibility, dynamic content. There's A/B testing for subject lines and the message content, but it's really somewhere between 7 and 8 out of 10. When it comes to e-commerce, you have integrations with Shopify, WooCommerce, all of these. There's a good amount of different integrations. They have features like abandoned cart recovery, product recommendations, purchase-based segmentation. It supports transactional emails, SMS, and WhatsApp notifications, but I'll tell you more about this when it comes to pricing. In general, it's not too bad for a software that's not specifically made for e-commerce, so I'll give it an 8 out of 10. When it comes to AI features, they have AI assistant for subject lines and copy generation. Predictive send time optimization is in beta now, so it's not as advanced as some of the other tools that have been doing this for a long time, and there's no AI driven automation creation yet, so it's just a 7 out of 10. Some unique features. So first of all, they have this sort of email, SMS, WhatsApp, and a chat all combined together. However, I'll show you in pricing what that means as well, because unless you go with crazy expensive pricing, it might mean that you're actually not able to use these features. So most likely you're actually only going to be able to use the email and SMS, which is something that most of the softwares provide one way or another. Another unique feature is that they do have built-in CRM and deal pipelines. So this is something that's unique, and you don't find it on as many email marketing softwares. But again, when it comes to pricing, I'll show you need to pay extra for this. And they do have some advanced contact scoring, reports, things like that. Again, that's kind of part of the CRM.
Brevo pricing is honestly kind of strange and pretty annoying. So
First of all, they actually have this free plan, and it's even 300 emails per day. However, this really has basically no features. So honestly, as a free plan, I would not advise to go with Brevo. There are way better free plans with other softwares. Now, you are going to go either with the starter plan or the standard plan. And there's the professional. I'll explain the difference and what you really need to understand. First of all, the starter plan, this is why I don't understand some of this stuff, is because you get very basic features. So for example, if you will want email marketing automation, which you obviously will want, if you will want A/B testing, all of these super important things, advanced email reporting and all of that, none of that is included in the starter plan. You will need to go with the standard plan. So that's something you need to understand. Another really thing that I don't really like is that they don't charge per subscribers, but they charge per emails sent. So it kind of depends, obviously, like how many emails you send. Maybe this is going to make sense for you. But so let's say if you have 10,000 subscribers, 10 emails per subscriber, 100,000 emails, and this is on the low end. You can definitely be sending way more than that. So for this, the price is $70 a month, which is not bad. However, keep in mind, again, you might hit this threshold. So this might be, when you reach whatever, let's say 7,000 subscribers. And another thing here is you have branding. So if you want to get rid of that, you'll need to pay additional $12 a month. And then if you want the sales features, so sales automations, pipelines, all of this, the chat bots, all of these things that are more unique, this is additional feature. So in here, as you can see, you will need to be paying $31 extra per month. So that's 112. One thing to note here as well is if I'm going above it, I need to switch to the standard plan. And as I said, the standard plan is this one that really has all the features that you will need. The starter plan, I don't think it's really possible to work with that. So in here, let's say if I choose 100,000 emails, that's going now to be $130 a month. So the price increases quite a bit. And as I said, it might be somewhere between 100,000, 150,000. So this is $170, depending how many emails you're going to send for the amount of the subscribers that you have. Again, if you want all of the sales stuff, you'll need to add that as additional. Then it becomes $200 a month. And if you will want to go with the professional plan, where this is where you really get a lot of stuff. So as you can look, additional marketing channels like the WhatsApp, pop-ups, mobile push notifications, contact scoring, advanced e-commerce features, AI segmentation. Actually, these are really important features, and some of these features you get on other software normal plans, but here you need to go with professional, which is $500 per month, which is absolutely crazy. So in here, it starts from 150,000 emails, and that gives you that costs $500 per month, and then there are some upsells here as well. And they do have, by the way, their SMS marketing. Let me see. So they have prepaid emails, but this is pretty expensive, honestly. And you have the text messages depending on where you're sending. So here it's like 10,000 is $109. Also WhatsApp. But again, you need to realize that you will need a specific plan to be even able to use this. So who is Brevo best for? It can work really for any business as a general email marketing software, but really I would only suggest it if you really need some deal pipelines and you want the chat. But also I did show you that you need to pay extra or go on this crazy expensive plan. So there might be also better options for you of actual CRM tool or all-inclusive tool. But this is the only reason I would say that maybe I would consider going with this software. So that's just one thing to consider. When it comes to automations with Sender, you have pretty much all of the main things you will need, all of the different triggers. all of the win-back campaigns, all of these automations, analytics, A/B testing. You also have a bunch of pre-made templates, which are really nice if you don't want to think about it and you just want to insert certain things. So really, you can have maybe a couple additional things that are really like extra, but in general, you have pretty much everything you will need. So it's a 9 out of 10 for automations. When it comes to ease of use and the interface, honestly, it's one of the cleanest, one of the easiest interfaces. It's very beginner friendly, very clear to navigate between campaigns, automation, subscribers, all of that. It's really a 10 out of 10, super simple. When it comes to landing pages, it has a simple drag and drop editor, nothing too crazy per se, but there's a bunch of pre-built templates to choose from. You can customize all the layouts, you can customize most of the elements that you want to add, the styling, the sections. One thing to note here is that there is no built-in A/B testing for the landing pages. This doesn't usually exist for email marketing softwares. It's really more just like a very advanced feature, but there is one or two email marketing softwares that have that. That's why I give it a 9 out of 10. When it comes to forms, you have all of the main stuff. You have the embeds, you can create different pop-ups, even gamified stuff, inline forms. It's very easy to customize, and you can customize quite a bit, add all of the different basic fields, and there is no A/B testing here. So if you want to A/B test it out, you're not going to have that option. But again, most of email marketing softwares don't have that option, but in general, it's really good. It's a 9 out of 10. When it comes to newsletter designer, so designing your emails, you have a drag and drop editor that is pretty simple, but it has all of the main stuff you will need, and you have a bunch of different templates to choose from as well. It supports dynamic content. You can add personalized tags like people's names, dates, locations, and you can also A/B test different subject lines. So it has pretty much everything that you will need, but it's not as crazy, maybe customizable as some of the email builders. That's why I'll give it an 8 out of 10. When it comes to e-commerce or just selling, basically it has integrations with all of the different main shopping tools like Shopify, WooCommerce, and you can have basically different product recommendations, abandoned carts. So all of these sort of the core features that you will need for e-commerce. It is a little bit limited in terms of analytics and purchase-based segmentation, but that's because it's not primarily meant for e-commerce. So you have some email marketing softwares that are for e-commerce that have maybe a little bit more in terms of analytics and segmentation, but it's pretty good in general. It's an 8 out of 10. When it comes to AI features, for now it has just basic AI subject line. When it comes to AI features, for now it just has basic AI subject line generator and copy suggestions when you write emails. It does not yet have any predictive or automation building AI capabilities. However, most likely it's going to be developed in the future. So for now, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. A couple of unique features is SMMS automation. So aside from email, you also have SMS. So you can actually do omni-channel marketing. And it has a bunch of, as I showed before, pre-made automation workflows that you can use. This includes SMS as well, so you can use both together, SMS and email marketing. And it also has heat maps when it comes to emails. You can see what people are engaging with the most. Cheapest pricing out there from all the email marketing softwares. So first of all, they have this free forever plan, and this gives you up to 2,500 subscribers, which is really a lot of subscribers. There is a limit of 15,000 emails per month, and you get most of the basic features that you will need. There are some limitations, like you don't get A/B testing, and you don't get like unlimited email templates, pop-up templates and landing pages, but you do get most of the stuff that you will need. Now, if you want to go with the paid plan, Here I chose 10,000 subscribers, and the standard plan, as you can see, is $57 a month, which is honestly crazy cheap. And the professional plan is $120 a month. So the difference here really is they put quite a few different things, but really in reality it's just that you get SMS credits in here. So here you have SMS as well, however you need to buy it separately, whereas this already comes with SMS. And as you can see here, if you're paying 120, you get that same amount in SMS credits, which sounds really great. And then all of these like advanced automations, this is just to do with SMS messages basically. So you will have all of the features that you need on the standard plan as well. The other thing to take into consideration is that if you have 10,000 subscribers, here as you can see you have a limit of 120,000 emails per month, meaning this is 12 emails per user per month, which is might be enough for you, might not be enough for you, so that's something to take into consideration. Also, if you have below 10,000, if you have somewhere between 5 and 10, let's say 7,000, then that becomes more per subscriber than 12 emails. But if you go with professional plan, then in here you get 240,000 emails, double the amount. So basically at least 24 emails per user per month, if not more. So it's really a honestly great pricing, both even the professional, because you get all of the SMS, and if you do annual billing, this is I think the biggest discount on any email marketing software. You get 30% discount. So 10,000 subscribers is only $84 with professional plan, and only $40 with standard plan, which is honestly absolutely insane. Another thing to keep in mind as well is that if you want to buy SMS separately, or you want to buy additional SMS, whatever it is, here you can basically just put in whatever amount, and it's going to show you, okay, how much you're going to pay. You choose the country and all of that, it all depends. And another thing as well, what they have is they have pay as you go plan. So in here, as you can see, you have all of these different features, email automations, all of that. You might not have a couple of things, basically what you have on the professional plan. But if you just want the sort of, I would say the basic, or well, almost like basically like this standard plan, then you can just choose this and you can just pay per emails sent. So for example, 10,000 emails is $57, so you can choose which one you want to do. So honestly, I would say that this is my probably favorite software, email marketing software right now. It's best value for money, and it's the cheapest software in general. So honestly, I think this is the best value for money when it comes to email marketing softwares. And it also is the cheapest software out there. And I wouldn't say to go with the cheapest software out there just because it's cheap, because investing money makes sense, but actually all of the features that you get for the price are absolutely amazing. It literally has 95% of the things you might need. There are maybe just a couple of small things that you might be lacking, but for the price, it's an absolute no-brainer. When it comes to MailChimp automations, it has all of sort of the main automations that you will need. So all the basic things like purchases, link clicks, tagging. However, important thing is that split testing is only available for campaigns, no deep inside automation flows, which is really a huge thing that you will need, a huge downside. Another thing is there's no true multi-trigger automations. So again, something that might really affect your email campaigns. So honestly, I'm not very impressed compared to other tools. It's only a 6 out of 10. When it comes to ease of use, I would say that it's pretty polished interface. It looks pretty nice. They have some guides how to set up. However, the dashboard can be a little bit busy, especially for beginners. and it's just kind of like a little bit overwhelming. It takes some time to get used to it, so it's a 7 out of 10. When it comes to landing pages, they do have quite a few modern templates. They have a drag and drop builder. It even supports A/B testing. However, that is only on the higher plans, something to keep in mind. And it's a little bit limited in terms of customization compared to actual page builders or even some of the other page builders in email marketing tools. So it's an 8 out of 10. When it comes to forms, you get all of the embeds, pop-ups available with different styling options, the editor. It integrates directly within automations and tags. The only downside here really is that they have fewer templates and it's just a little bit limited visually how much basically you can design it yourself, how many things you can adjust. So it's a 7 out of 10. When it comes to newsletter designer, it's pretty versatile, a lot of different templates, brand kit, dynamic content support, built-in A/B testing for subject lines as well, send times, and content blocks, kind of like all of the stuff that you will need and then you will most likely find on other tools as well. Nothing crazy, but nothing bad either. It's an 8 out of 10. When it comes to e-commerce, a store, they have integrations with Shopify, WooCommerce, Stripe. I would say quite a few different integrations. They provide simple things like abandoned cart recovery, product recommendations, purchase tagging, and you have built-in store option as well if you want to sell some digital or physical products. Obviously, I would just suggest to use a tool separately for that, but it's not too bad in terms of e-commerce. It's an 8 out of 10. When it comes to AI features, they have some copywriting assistant. This is mostly for subject lines and body tags. This is what most email marketing softwares have. They do have now some predictive segmentation, but this is still very much in beta and I wouldn't rely on it too much. Send time optimization, which is kind of nice, and a lot of other email marketing tools have some content suggestions. No AI driven automations yet. So not very advanced, but just because they have this beta here, I will give them an 8 out of 10. When it comes to unique features, I wouldn't say there's anything unique per se. The only thing I can think of is that they also provide some social posting and sort of like ad creation stuff and postcard marketing. But honestly, I would just keep in mind that are you actually going to use these different tools, because they're not very advanced if compared to like if you're just using let's say social media scheduler by itself. So this is kind of unique, but maybe not actually useful.
When it comes to MailChimp pricing, so first of all, they do have completely free plan, and by the way, there's a few very important things here I will explain. But the free plan is actually only up to 500 subscribers, and you can only send 1,000 emails. But honestly, you can't do any automations. It's missing all of the important features. Honestly, it's really a useless plan. I don't think you should. If you're going to go for a free plan, don't go with MailChimp. You can't do anything really. Even if you're gonna go with MailChimp, you're gonna start with a paid plan. So for paid plans, few very important things. So first of all, this seems very cheap right now, but this is because they just have this 50% discount for the first year. I don't know if it's just a promo right now, but as you can see, the real price is $110 a month for 10,000 subscribers on essential plan, and standard plan is $135 and premium is $350. And let me tell you a couple of important things. So this might seem okay, it's not too bad, $110. However, when you look at the different automation flows, this only provides up to 4 flow steps, which honestly, most likely you will run out very quick. And actually, when it comes to all of these other features that are super important, when it comes to like the automations, the sending, advanced segmentations, the essential plan doesn't include any of that. So really, you're not going to go with essential plan. You're going to go with either the standard or you're going to go with a premium plan. So the premium plan is $135, which is a little bit more on the expensive side. And another thing here is that you're limited how many emails you can send. So you can send 100 20,000 emails, 12 emails per contact, which means that you might run out of the emails sent before you run out of contacts. So if you have 10,000 subscribers, you actually might need to get a plan for 15,000 to be able to send 18 emails per basically one subscriber. And then the price, as you can see, increases to $230, so it increases quite a lot. And honestly, when it comes to the features, this price tag is really quite a lot for considering all of the different features that you get and you don't get. I would say that it's really overpriced. I think MailChimp is just the oldest software out there. It's the biggest known name. That's why they can really overcharge you by quite a lot. Really, this is probably, I would say, the worst value for money that you can get when it comes to pricing.
So who is it best for? Honestly, I really don't understand why people use MailChimp. For me, compared to all of the other email marketing softwares, it's way overpriced, and it's actually more expensive and gives you worse features than other email marketing softwares. So I don't understand. I think it's just the oldest and the biggest tool. Hence, it's still very, very popular because a lot of people just have heard of MailChimp and they just sign up for it. But honestly, there are other tools that are much better and much cheaper.
When it comes to active campaign automations, it has some very, very advanced automations. You can really personalize everything. There are some AI tools as well. I'm going to talk about this a little bit later in a different section, but they have very advanced stuff, and there's a lot of pre-built things that you can do as well. They have like site tracking, event tracking, cross-channel orchestration, all of these advanced segmentations, behavioral triggers, things like that. So honestly, they have the most advanced, the highest level of the different automations that you will want to do. They have like the CRM integrations as well, for different deal stages, lead scoring, practically unlimited logic depth. It's ideal for advanced marketers, but honestly, I will say one thing: you need to understand that for a lot of people, this might be too much. So you might not actually need, and other email marketing softwares might be enough. And there's another caveat when it comes to pricing that I'll discuss later. So even though it's way more advanced than other tools, or at least a lot, it can be more advanced, it might be just too much for you. But in general, it is definitely a 10 out of 10 when it comes to automations. When it comes to ease of use and interface, because it is a lot more advanced, I would say it's for more advanced marketers. It does have a clean layout, but it's a bit complex because you can customize so many different things. It's not as easy as other softwares. Once you master it, then it becomes pretty easy, and it's very efficient as well. But it's going to take you a minute to get used to it. So it's a 7 out of 10. When it comes to landing pages, they have a very good drag and drop builder, good range of templates, and the templates actually look really beautiful. I really like active campaign templates. The really strong part, I would say, is that they have full customization. So you can customize the landing pages here more than any other email marketing software. Full custom CSS. You have, of course, the A/B testing, and it integrates directly with a bunch of different stuff. So it is actually, I would say, maybe even comparable to some standalone website builders. So it's a 9 out of 10. When it comes to forms, again, I like forms a lot, like the landing pages. You have all of the different options: inline, floating, modal forms. You also have a bunch of different logics and tagging support. It's, again, you can create some really beautiful forms. I like it because of that, and the customization is really good. It's not going to be maybe as functional and as flexible as a dedicated form builder, but for email marketing form builder, it is definitely very good. So it's a 9 out of 10. When it comes to newsletter designer, again, you have basically this visual builder.
with smart personalization that you can add, and you can add dynamic blocks like other email marketing softwares. You also have A/B testing for subject lines, content, and send times. This is something that most of email marketing softwares will have. But on top of that, you also have deep analytics, including engagement, conversions, goal tracking. So it's really more or less, I would say, everything that you will need for a newsletter. So it's a 9 out of 10. When it comes to e-commerce and stores, it's has great integrations with Shopify, WooCommerce, all of the different things. Actually, the integrations, it has a lot of integrations. It has automations triggered by carts, orders, product behavior. I would say this is one thing that maybe stands out a little bit more compared to some of the other email marketing softwares, that this is not specifically for e-commerce, but it has, I would say, more e-com functionality than other non-e-commerce specific email marketing softwares. Maybe it's not as good as specifically email marketing softwares, but it's pretty up there. It also supports product recommendations, tagging, revenue reporting, all of that kind of stuff. So I would say it's a 9 out of 10. So when it comes to AI features, this is pretty interesting because first of all, you have email generation, predictive sending optimization. This is what most email marketing softwares provide. However, it goes beyond that. So it has this, what they call autonomous marketing. So basically you can talk with sort of like the AI model, and you can create different AI agents that are going to help you to basically build campaigns, to understand a little bit better what exactly is your performance. So this is very advanced stuff. Honestly, it's pretty new, so there is a question of, okay, how well does this work? And as you can see, you can basically like chat, okay, I want to create this and this type of campaign, and it's going to help you to create this campaign. Is it actually going to work well? Or that is a different question, and how useful it really is. But it might be sort of like a good stepping stone into at least taking the first step, and then from there kind of like adjusting things yourself. So it is pretty advanced compared to all of the other email marketing softwares. I will say that it has the most advanced AI features for right now. So it's a 9 out of 10. When it comes to unique features, it has built-in CRM for lead scoring and pipeline automations. So if this applies for your business, it doesn't apply for every business, but if it applies, that might be useful. Also, automation recipe marketplace. So basically these automation templates, and there's a lot of different, like hundreds of different templates. Again, I don't know how many you're actually going to use, but it's nice to have that in case if you want to actually use a bunch of different automations. A ton of integrations as well that are all native, which is really nice if you're going to use a lot of external apps. That is something to take into consideration as well. And as I said, I would also say all of the different AI features is something that's probably like unique, at least for now, until other email marketing software start doing it as well. So I would say ActiveCampaign definitely has the most advanced features. However, the caveat here is the pricing. So for 10,000 contacts, they have a few different pricing plans. The first one is a starter plan. And by the way, I really hate this, but they show billed annually instead of monthly. So basically this is with 20% discount. So keep in mind, you need to add additional 20% on top of this. So the starter plan, there's a few things here that you really need to understand. The starter plan, one big thing here is that you only have 5 actions per automation, which honestly is really nothing. This is like the most basic automations. You're going to run out of that super quick. And if you're going for ActiveCampaign, you're probably going because it has the really advanced automation features. So this plan also doesn't have a bunch of other stuff, but just because of this as well, I would say you're definitely not going to go with the starter plan. Honestly, you're going to need to look into Plus, or you will need to look into the Pro plan. So if you look at the Plus plan, it's $189, but this is annually. If you do it monthly, it's going to be something like $220, $230. And a few things here you need to understand as well. First is you get 10 times contact limit in terms of how many emails you can send. So if you have, so basically you're going to be able to send 10 emails per contact. That's 2.5 emails per week on average, more or less. You can run out of that pretty quick, to be honest, especially if you're doing a bunch of automations. So actually, you're probably going to end up paying more. If you have, let's say, 10,000 contacts, you're probably going to run out of the emails that you're sending. You're going to send more than 10 emails. So you'll need to upgrade to the next plan and you're going to be paying more. So this is something that you need to understand, because some email marketing softwares, they provide unlimited amount of emails. Another important thing as well here is, if you look at the Plus plan, that you don't have some of the really important features. So let's say like conditional content, predictive sending. These are some of the features that you really, this is where ActiveCampaign shines. That's the really like the advanced stuff why you're going for here. So let's say attribution and conversion tracking, it doesn't have that stuff as well. And this is something that's can be very important for your business. If you're like selling stuff, you definitely need attribution and conversion tracking. You can't do email marketing if you're not tracking your attribution. So keep in mind that it doesn't have some of these very important features. And even for, let's say, A/B testing, it's emails only. You can do A/B testing within automations, which honestly is crazy that you're paying this much money and you don't even have A/B testing within automations. It's really honestly kind of annoying. So you might need to go with the Pro plan if you need those features, most likely, and this is the most popular plan. However, as you can see, this plan is so much more expensive than the other plans. And that is because most people are going to upgrade to this plan, and this is where they make most of their money. So it's almost $400, but this is, again, this is annually. And the only thing here to keep in mind, you'll get most of the features that you need with this plan. So that is fine. You will not need to go for enterprise for most of the people. However, the only thing here as well is that you get 12 emails per one contact. So if you're sending a bunch of emails, if you're sending like every day or every other day, you're going to run out of that. So just keep in mind. And if you look, actually, if we press to buy now, you will see that per month, if I choose instead of annual billing, it's going to add additional 20%. So that's going to come to $420 per month, which is very, very expensive. You can get other email marketing softwares that have 95% of the features for 1/4 or 1/5 of the price. ActiveCampaign best for. It's perfect for the really advanced marketer, some agencies that need to bring in crazy results, some bigger businesses. It's best choice if you need some very deep automations, like some very high level CRM integrations, multi-channel personalization. However, as I mentioned, it comes with very high price tag. So I would say that you need to take into consideration, are you actually going to use all of these automations, all of the customizations, all of the different things? Because you can have another email marketing software that's 1/5 of the price that provides almost everything that you will need. So that's the only caveat here that you need to take into consideration. By the way, I have also made an ultimate video comparing all of the different softwares, so go check that out, link in description. And don't forget, I have special discounts and crazy bonuses if you use my affiliate link. So if you enjoyed this, check out all of those links.